My name is Kelly. I've been married to my husband for 5 years. Our story goes back to our college days. We were in the same club and that's where we hit it off. I tried all sorts of approaches to get him to confess his feelings for me. But when he didn't pop the question, I ran out of patience and took the plunge myself. That's how our relationship began. Every place we went to for dates was just so much fun, and I always thought I wanted to be with him forever. After graduation, I joined a web design company. Because I was working late almost every day, the number of times I could see my husband gradually decreased. Feeling the strain of seeing each other less often, Daniel suggested we move in together. Indeed, that way we could see each other every day. And then he continued, "Of course, I'm suggesting moving in together with marriage in mind." I was so happy, I cried. Maybe I was crying because I've been too busy lately and felt emotionally drained. Living together was a breath of fresh air. On weekdays, since we came home at different times, we barely had time to talk. But on weekends, we'd relax at home, chat, and eat together, just the two of us. It may not sound like much, but all those moments meant the world to me. 2 years into our living together, I started thinking it might be time to tie the knot. Since I was the one who initiated our relationship, I hoped Daniel would be the one to propose. Then one day, he said he had something to tell me and handed me a ring. "I want to marry you." "This time you took the initiative, Daniel." "Of course, it's a yes." We decided to get married. We agreed to visit each other's parents, starting with Daniel's family first. Actually, I had visited Daniel's home once before. My in-laws are really nice people, so honestly, I wasn't too nervous. It's been a while since we've been to Daniel's family home, about 3 years, huh? Has it been that long already? Feels like it was just yesterday. That's a sign of getting old, haha. With this light-hearted conversation, we headed to Daniel's family house. When we arrived, Daniel's dad and mom greeted us. "Kelly, welcome. It's been a while." "It has been some time. I was really looking forward to today." My mother-in-law, with a slightly mischievous smile, asked, "Are you sure you want my son?" "No regrets." "Mom, cut it out," Daniel said in a fluster. "By the way, where's Camilla?" Daniel asked. Camilla is Daniel's sister. I didn't get to meet her the last time I was here, so this would be our first meeting. "Camilla's still sleeping. I'll go wake her up." It was already past noon. I was a bit surprised she was sleeping that late. From upstairs, we could hear my mother-in-law's voice. "Camilla, time to get up. Enough is enough. Keep it down. I'm trying to sleep here. You got dumped by your husband because you're like that. That's none of your business. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong." I was taken aback by their fierce exchange. Daniel's dad apologized with a look of regret. "Kelly, I'm sorry about our daughter. Does Camilla's job require her to work the night shift? It's embarrassing, but she's not working at the moment. Plus, she just got divorced. It's the second time, actually." "I see." Daniel's mom came downstairs from the second floor. "Camilla won't wake up. It's no use." My mother-in-law looked clearly frustrated. "There's no need to force her. We can always drop by another time." I said this with a smile, but I was feeling quite miffed on the inside. I wondered about the appropriateness of sleeping when someone comes over to visit. In the end, Camilla didn't come to see me that day. On our way home, I said to my husband, "Isn't it just rude not to meet with someone who has come especially to see you?" "Well, Camilla has been through a lot. She's tired from the divorce. Still, she could have made an effort to show her face. Let's not speak ill of Camilla, okay?" My husband said this with a tinge of annoyance. "What? Are you upset? Camilla is my dear sister. I just don't want you to speak badly of her." "Okay, I get it. Sorry." "No, it's okay. I'll talk to Camilla about it." "All right." I was honestly surprised to see my husband angry for the first time. At that moment, I simply thought he really cared about his sister. But looking back, I regret not realizing what was really going on. It could have prevented what happened later. Time passed, and the day of the wedding came. It was during the family introductions that I finally met Camilla. She looked a lot like Daniel, with distinct, beautiful features. I thought such a beauty would find someone new in no time, despite the divorce. After the introductions, I had a moment to speak with Camilla. It's so nice to finally meet you. Yay, we hadn't met, had we? I was wondering what kind of person my brother had chosen turned out to be no big deal. I was at a loss for words by her unexpected remark. What do you mean by no big deal? Maybe the looks. Why on earth would she say something like that on this special day? Sorry to disappoint you, I managed to say, though my face was tense. After the ceremony, we went to our hotel room. My husband said I looked stunning, but it seems Camilla doesn't think so. I responded coolly. Did Camilla say something to you? She said my looks were no big deal. That's so like her. My husband laughed and said, how can someone laugh when their own wife is being bad-mouthed? I began to feel a creeping sense of discomfort towards Daniel's attitude toward Camilla. One day, after 3 years of marriage, Daniel said, maybe it's about time we buy a house. Yay, renting is just throwing money away, I replied. After looking at various places, we were drawn to a brand new condo and decided to buy a unit there. After we moved and I had finished unpacking, I suggested, hey, why don't we invite your dad and mom over? That's a good idea. I'd like to invite Camilla too. Honestly, I didn't like the idea, but I didn't want to start a fuss, so I agreed, sure, let's do that. That weekend, the three of them came to our house. Thank you for inviting us today, said Daniel's father. I'll bring out the dishes one by one, so please sit at the table and wait. I stood in the kitchen and cooked the meal. As I started cooking in the kitchen, Daniel's mother offered to help, saying, let me give you a hand. I wanted her to relax today, so I politely declined. When I had laid out the food on the table, I realized Daniel and Camilla were nowhere to be seen. Then, I noticed Daniel was showing Camilla around the house. Hey, don't show her too much of the house. She wanted to see it. Camilla, having overheard our exchange, chuckled and said, no need to hide, I know it's not messy. I was really annoyed by her every word. However, I held back in front of my in-laws. Both of you, the food's ready, come here. I called them back to the living room. Daniel and Camilla will be here soon. What are those two up to? Just having a look around the new house. I said that with a bit of sarcasm. However, they still didn't come, so I went to call them again. To my surprise, they were in my workroom. Hey, you can't go in there. There's a really expensive computer in here. I use that computer for work. Don't touch it, it's very expensive. I wasn't planning to touch it, Camilla said with a sullen look. Why did you let her in here? I asked Daniel firmly. She wanted to see it. She's family, so it's fine. This room is my office. It has confidential documents for clients. Get out, please. Camilla glared at me and left. Back in the living room, we started the meal. Kelly, you're a great cook. This is delicious. Indeed, I'd like to learn from you next time. That would be too much of an honor to teach you, I replied. Our pleasant conversation was shattered by a remark from Camilla. Isn't this a bit too salty? This isn't good for Daniel's health. I was confident about my cooking skills. Today's menu featured my specialty dish. I was irked when it was criticized. Irritated, I asked, Daniel, is the flavor too strong? Now that you mention it, maybe it is. But you've always said it was delicious before, haven't you? Camilla mentioned it, and now that she did, it kind of feels that way. Feeling a spat brewing, my father-in-law stepped in. Don't complain about the food your wife worked hard to make. Kelly, my apologies. Let me apologize on behalf of my son. I simply told my father-in-law, it's okay, and then fell silent. The dinner ended with the atmosphere still strained, and the three guests left. As I was cleaning up, my husband dropped a bombshell. Kelly, can we talk? What is it? What's up? Well, Camilla just asked if she could move in with us. What are you talking about? That's out of the question. Why? For starters, Camilla is openly hostile towards me. That's not true. She's always been blunt about her farts. Living with someone like that would just be a constant source of stress. Got it, I'll tell her no. Please do. After that exchange, my husband went to his room. He didn't come out for the rest of the day. A few days later, I had to go on a business trip. So, I'll be gone for a week on this trip. Take care of things at home, okay? Yeah, I got it. Be safe. What about your meals for the week? I'll manage somehow. Okay then. I'll be off. I felt something was off in my husband's expression when I left, but I was rushed for time and didn't dwell on it. On the third day of my business trip, I called my husband. There was no answer, so I called again later, but still no response. He usually calls back right away. Why isn't he? There was no call back that day. The next morning, my husband finally called back. Sorry about yesterday. I went to bed early. That's fine. You must have been tired. So, what did you need? Well, actually, right at that moment, I heard the sound of a door closing in the background. Wait, is someone there with you? Yeah, Camilla's here. What? Why? She came over to cook. Don't just let her in like that. What's the big deal? We're family. Anyway, what did you need? Forget it. I hung up the phone. Just having Camilla in my house right now is driving me up the wall. I spent the rest of my business trip feeling awful. And then, the day I came back home, I would never have imagined that such an incident would happen. Yeah, I'm home. Welcome back, Kelly. I was so shocked, I froze on the spot. Why are you still here? Well, I've decided to move into this house. I thought I made it clear that it was off the table. Kelly, you're really bad at household chores, aren't you? That's why I thought I'd help out. I don't need your help. I said it with a firm tone. Don't be shy, I'm offering to do it for free. This is bad, I thought. She's not getting the message. Honestly, you're being a nuisance. This is our house. You have no right to be here. But Daniel says it's okay for me to live here. I looked at my husband. Yay, let's have Camilla stay. She's great at cooking, and that makes me happy. I was on the verge of blowing a fuse. Why is my husband so under his sister's thumb? I couldn't stand him putting his sister before me. Are you serious? Yay, dead serious. Don't joke with me. I'm at my wit's end. I slammed my bag down onto the floor. Seeing this, Camilla said with a laugh, "Scary LOL. You're throwing a fit like an old hag." That was the last straw. Listen, if you're going to let this woman stay, we're getting a divorce. Daniel and Camilla looked at me, dumbfounded. Come on, don't you think divorce is a bit over the top? Daniel fumbled with his words. I'm not overreacting. It's insane to let your sister move in. Then, with a smirk, Camilla said, go ahead, get a divorce. Then I'll get the house. It all clicked for me. She was after the house all along. Why do you think you'd get the house if we divorced? Well, Daniel's been paying for it, right? So it's his. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I bought this condo under my name, so that's not happening. And I continued, because of you, we're going to get divorced, and I will make sure you pay for this. I went into my room to check on something. Just as I thought, Camilla, you stole a necklace from my room last time you visited with your parents, didn't you? I didn't do anything like that. You got proof. No proof from last time. But I've set up a camera to catch you if you tried anything again. What? Gotcha. You're on camera. The camera showed Camilla going through my room while I was away on business. What were you doing in my room? And as I continued to watch, there was Camilla on camera, stealing a tablet from my desk. Where's my tablet? That eyes. Did you already sell it? I have no idea what you're talking about. I looked at my husband and said, did you know about this? No, I swear I had no clue. Camilla, did you steal? I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, Daniel. I said to Camilla firmly, this is a serious crime. We're going to the police. Just spare me that, please. Camilla begged on her knees. Kelly, please, not the cops. I'm begging you. Watching the two of them, I said, the world isn't that forgiving. I will divorce Daniel. And Camilla, you will be turned over to the police. That's it. Both of them turned pale and slumped to the floor. Afterward, I reported Camilla's case to the police. Her sentence will be decided soon. As for us, my husband and I have settled on a divorce. Daniel has asked me repeatedly for forgiveness, but I haven't given in. The thought of never having to see that sister again truly makes me happy. I'm glad I got a divorce. Now, I'm looking forward to enjoying my life to the fullest.